Annie Elisabeth Lusack, and I'm a Gambian, of course, and I'm an Aku. I'm very proud to be an Aku. I did my schooling here, and I finished my high school in 2007. Then I worked for a year. Then 2 years later, I went to the University of the Gambia, 2009, 2013. From there, I went to serve as a volunteer teacher, then VSO and MOPSI, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. My first baby is my honey business. I started it last year. In fact, I had the inspiration in July last year. It was summer then, so we have closed school, so I was watching TV. So I was watching this cartoon with two of my nephews, they are twins, so we were watching it at the parlor. It was early afternoon. So as we were watching, I saw this problem that these bees had with humans, because humans were destroying their environment, killing the plants, the flowers. So then the bees had to take these humans to court, and then later on they won. And that's how I just got the inspiration. I believe if I have an inspiration, I have to work with it fast. If not, I will be lazy and it will not be interesting anymore. I will not be excited as well. So that was July. August, I started working on it. September 27th, I launched it. I had a small launching at our church hall. So I started with the jar, honey jar, and this honey jar. And for 1 year plus now, we have advanced from the jar. We now have the small bottle, half a liter, and then we have 1 liter. And then May this year, I launched my Annie's Honey Cream. It's honey beeswax with 4 different types of oils, and it's good for both hair and for skin. So I use it, and it has worked for me. So, and other people as well, they have been testifying of it, and it has really been a success. So a few months back this year, I launched my Annie's Honey Soup, Annie's Honey Lip Balm as well. I also have Annie's Honey Peanut Butter and Honey Blend. People ask me, do you process this honey? How do you do? I said, no, for now, I don't have. Yes, I normally buy and then I rebrand. I put my logo on it and then rebrand, advertise and all. Yes, but I know in the very short long run, I want to have my own land, of course, then have my own beehives and start processing it. Yes. Normally, I use Facebook. So, I love to post. I post things. So I already had that platform already. So what I had to do was just have a snap of my product, post it, and people appreciate it and then buy. Anytime I post something, somebody must buy. So I have an Instagram page as well. I just opened a Twitter account, yes, and I also have a YouTube account. Well, I had both the same time. The honey inspiration, 2 weeks later, ending of July, I had the book inspiration. If an inspiration was in a dream, I had a nap, an afternoon nap. In fact, it has been a hobby. I will just have some inspiration, some quotation somewhere, and then type it on my phone. So I've been doing this since 2018. So the 19 was just to fulfill and let it come to pass. Yes. So then I launched the book and the honey. It was the same day. It was a double launching. I have a business group. I also organize seminars for women as well. I had this inspiration to organize a seminar, like a workshop, encourage women in business. Those are in business. My own inspiration is not for, or interest is not for women that have already made it. It's good to see them as mentors. It's good to see them as inspiration. But I believe that those that are getting up, they are the ones that people should see, because some of them are very creative and they are doing much better than those that are already there. So I brought in some ladies. We had a panel discussion. It was a whole day thing on a Saturday. We had speakers. We had even a speaker from Sierra Leone. She was here on leave holiday, and then she came to inspire and speak to ladies. Then we had question and answers. We had lunch after. We had a small table that we sold some of these items, and then it was just a success. The same period I was organizing this seminar for business, I also have this inspiration too as well to have a conference, and the title is The Broken Woman. Most of the time, women go through a lot. Sometimes they don't have the platform to share it. Sometimes they don't trust the people they share it to because of experience. Sometimes they just can't share it. They have to keep it inside. And another thing too, I have a gifting. I do dance. Yes, I'm a inspirational dancer in terms of worship dance. I do dance, but it's mainly religious songs like Christian songs. Worship the slow ones. No, it's good that I've started it. So it's easier. When you start something, it's easier to continue. But when you get married and then you want to start this, you want to do that, you might not have the platform or the opportunity. I had this notion, this idea that it's when I get married, that's the time I will start fulfilling my purpose, that I will start doing this, doing that, not knowing that it's when you are single that you can start up all these things. And then when you marry, of course, you marry the right person, the person will help you to achieve some of these things. Of course, you also help the person as well. My dad was electrician, was an electrician, he passed on. My mom was a nurse. So they are not connected in any way. Although they had a shop in our house, we had a shop that we sold some drinks and some other things. So probably that's where it started, but I never had that idea about business. I never had it. It was not part of my dreams. I wanted to be a farmer, have my own vegetable garden somewhere. So it has never been part of it. I have some of my family members that are into business, but not in a bigger scale. They buy things, sell. Yes. And then some of my family members, they are teachers, like my grandma, also my namesake, she's a teacher, or she was a teacher. I have others that are into sports and all. But business oriented, no. Both sides, no. Talking about the three types of leaders. That leader that dictates, you do this, do that. They don't want to hear your suggestion. They are the boss. You have another leader that always helps. The leader that is always by your side, that allows you to go. There's another leader that is at the back, watching, creating the platform, also watching and then guiding. So there's the leader that is in front, there's a leader that is by you, and there's a leader behind you. So I believe I want to be the leader that is behind all my programs. I cannot do it alone. So I involve other women like myself. I have other older women too that also come to support me. And then I give roles to people. Yes, actually, I have a foundation I launched just a few months back, and that was the 3rd year anniversary since my mom passed on. So then, and also the foundation is named after her, in memory of her. So it's Rosie's Nest. So Rosie's Nest Foundation. It's a foundation it's a shelter sort of for women, broken women. There are women that have been disappointed, women, single moms, teenage moms, women that are beggars, women that think they cannot do it anymore. Basically, women that have been broken in general, even prostitutes as well, because women are talented, they are gifted, we are creative. And another thing, some women that are widows as well. If you are creative or you have a creative work, people will support you. And of course, they will patronize you. With that, you have a small scale business. You never know who will see it and then, boost it up. So some of them, they decide to, or they branch off to beg. And most of them, they are physically all right. But if they have this home whereby they will be trained, trained to inspire them, telling them you can make it if you do this and this, have a job, start up something small, support yourself, people will support you, people will patronize you. I think they will not just think of just being lazy, because sometimes I think it's laziness, and go out to beg. So it will be a home whereby women will train. It will be just a period, probably 6 months, a home, whereby you come in, and then you will in the shelter, and then you will be trained on vocational skills, and also not only the physical part, the vocational, but also the emotional part. Women coming together to share their stories. My story will inspire somebody else's story will inspire me, somebody else's story will inspire somebody else. So it's like a shelter whereby women will be taken care of psychologically, women also will be taken care of physically as well. Yes. Of course, we find volunteers. Some people, they do come to volunteer and it's part of their project. Sometimes university students, they do come for their project work and all, to work with these ladies. Sometimes women from other countries like European advanced countries come to Africa to help women. Maybe they cannot physically help them with their finances, but they can be linked up with somebody that can help these ladies as well. So it's as I said, I'm thinking international, not only local. Yes, local is good and is a startup, but for a long run, international. So volunteers are welcome, of course. Not only women, but men as well. Well, in 5 years' time, I see myself having my own company, because I've been saying this, that before I'm 40, I don't want to work for anybody again, which is less than 10 years time. I want to have my own business. I don't want to work for anybody. Yes, in few years time, I also want to have my own school, my own international school. That's one. Another thing I also want to have my dancing school as well. So these are the three for now. Yes. My biggest challenge happened in 2017 when I lost my mom. And although I had a rosy childhood, I was the last at home, but despite that, I was corrected, because ACUS, they correct you and all, they discipline you very well, so that when you grow up, of course, as the Bible says, you can, stand up by yourself, and you can be a better person in life. So in 2013, I lost my dad. 4 years later, 17, I lost my mom. So when that happened, I thought that my life crumbled. No mom, no dad, people that I had that helped me out, my grandma that helped me out with my education and all. So these were the strong pillars, physical pillars that I had. And they all passed on 2 years in difference, 2 years. So when my mom passed on, because she was very close, I was very close to my mom. We talked about everything, because normally they say girls are daddy's girls, but I was close to my mom, so I was a mommy's girl. So when I lost my mom, I thought that my life had finished, my life crumbled. Where will I hold on? My anchor has gone and all that. Another thing, a week before my mom passed on, a week and 2 days, I was disappointed. I was supposed to get married, thinking that, of course, married will be where I will fulfill my purpose, I will start my life and all. I was disappointed, and then about 2 months before the wedding. So it's like I had 2 disappointments just within a week or a week and a half. So it was like my life was supposed to crumble as well. People will look at me and they keep asking me, how did you do it? People thought that maybe I would have been, my life would have scattered and all. But then I decided to give my life to Christ again. Because I had gave my life to Christ before, but I was still living in sin. I was doing my own stuff. Today I'm hot for God. Tomorrow I'm cold and all. So then I allowed my life again, to rededicate my life again to Christ. I said that I was tired. I was tired of going and coming. I want to give my life to Christ finally. And that was in 2018. And since then, these are the testimonies. My message to the world is, once you dream it, you can achieve it. Most of the times we have dreams and we just think that we can wait a year, we can wait 2 years, we wait for somebody to come boost us up, we wait for somebody to come sponsor us, we wait for somebody to come motivate us. But once you have that idea, you have that dream, you have that inspiration, just start it up. God will send the exact people, the divine helpers and sponsors to help you out.